Rays are the hottest team in baseball, winning 5 straight games, highlighted by Jake Bauer's walk-off home run versus New York, and Sergio Romo's theatrics Tuesday versus Washington. Tonight, Tampa Bay opens a 4-game set versus the defending world champion Houston Astros. Tonight, the Rays continue what has already been a winning homestand, a 9-gamer, and the first game of a 4-game series on tap tonight as the Rays play host to the Houston Astros. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, the Rays have won the first 5 games on this homestand, BA. Pitching has been a big part of that, but they'll have their hands full tonight with this Houston lineup led by HOU Altuve.
Listen, we talk about this guy all the time. So consistent and oh so good. That's HOU Altuve having another tremendous season, leading the majors with a .345 average, leading the majors with 111 hits, well on his way to another 200-hit season. That would be his 5th consecutive. And you think about his approach at the plate. Excellent hand-eye coordination. He's got an extremely fast bat, and he takes an aggressive hack. The thing about it is, though, Dwayne, he's going to have to go up against the Rays pitching staff, and this is what they've been doing. 22 consecutive scoreless innings. There have been 10 different pitchers for the Rays that have been involved in contributing to this streak. Different styles, different speeds, a common result. They have been tough to score on. They haven't been scored on in a long time. We'll see how long that can continue here tonight.
Well, a couple of starters, a couple of bullpen days, a couple of openers, and tonight, Brian Stanek will be the opener for the Rays, and Lance McCullers Jr. on the hill for Houston. What a success story he has been, as you know, a local kid. Great breaking ball, and so it'll be Stanek and McCullers to start this one. Recently for the Rays, as we point out, there's been no place like home, and with more about that when we come back, we will hear from Michelle Margot.
The Houston Astros. Well, at the beginning of this homestand, the Rays have played the fewest home games in all of Major League Baseball, but since then they have won 8 straight here at Tropicana Field. Let's take a look at some of their numbers from those 8 wins. In those 8 games have averaged 4.8 runs per game, hitting .255 as a team. And then look at the pitching. Starters have a 1.85 ERA, and the bullpen just a 1.10 ERA. Here's manager Kevin Cash on this recent win streak at home.
Well, I think the atmosphere has definitely helped. I mean, when the Yankees came into town, we had great crowds, and I think any team would tell you when there's people in the seats, it energizes probably both clubs, but it's been nice for us. I mean, for us to do that, though, we had to do some special things on the field. It's been led by our pitching. They've kept us in every ball game, and we've kind of gotten some timely hits.
The Rays look to make it 6-0 during this 9-game homestand. Ryan Stanek opens this one up against Tampa native Lance McCullers Jr. and the Houston Astros. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson have the call. First pitch from Tropicana Field coming up.
Well, the Rays will send the right-hander Ryan Stanek to the hill tonight, riding a 5-game winning streak. And if you back it up to the last homestand, they have won 8 consecutive games here at Tropicana Field. They're now 20-16 at home. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for Houston, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. George Springer is going to lead it off in right, followed by Alex Bregman and then Jose Altuve. Josh Reddick has been red hot. He's hitting cleanup in front of the DH Evan Gattis. Marwin Gonzalez at short. Tyler White's at first. Brian McCann at second. And Jake Marisnick in center field will hit ninth.
You know, and after sliding into that opener role, among other roles that he still holds, look what Ryan Stanek has been able to do in the month of June. 10 games, 13 innings, just 4 hits given up, 14 strikeouts. He has been absolutely outstanding.
He's all set to go. Springer in the box. First pitch of this game, a fastball to start it. Misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Springer hitting .260 with 15 home runs, 42 runs batted in out of the leadoff spot. And the hard stuff right by him. 1-1. Springer recently has struggled at the plate. 3 for his last 35. He does have a home run in that mix of 3 hits and 35 at bats. It's 1-2. It's Bregman on deck. Houston comes in 54 and 28 with a 3.5 game lead over Seattle to start play today. And a cut and a miss. That takes care of Springer.
Yeah, and how about the fact that in that at-bat, Springer saw all 3 pitches. Saw 2 fastballs to start it off, a slider for strike 2, and then look at the split. Look at the action on that pitch. I mean, just burrowing itself right out of the strike zone. Great start here for Stanek.
Well, and that's the pitch that Kyle Snyder has called the put-away pitch for him. The slider much improved. That's been a big improvement for him. And he's had that great velocity. Pitch inside to Bregman.
Well, let's take a look at a scouting report on Alex Bregman. King of the walk-off right now. He hit a home run in yesterday afternoon's game, leading the Astros to a come-from-behind walk-off win. That was his 3rd walk-off hit in 2018. Leads Major League Baseball and clipped the Jays, if you saw that one right there, in that series against Toronto. 3-game series. He was 9 out of 14, batting average of .643. 8 of the 9 hits went for extra bases. 3 homers, 5 doubles, 6 driven in.
This pitch in on him. He pops it up foul, out of play. It's 2-1. Well, here's the walk-off yesterday when Houston pulled it out in their final at bat. And Bregman walked it off. First time he's hit a walk-off home run in his career. Boy, this guy has been clutch for Houston.
Yep. I mean, he is swinging the bat extremely well. Obviously, talked about what he was able to do in that series against the Blue Jays. You know, he had 2 walk-offs on that last homestand. Got the Rays on the double off Romo in a ball game in Houston. They were down a run going into the bottom of the 9th. Ryan Tepera on the mound.
There's a drive back into left center field. Smith on the run, and he's going to make a leap before he gets to the wall to haul it in. Back into left center to the center field side of the 370 marker.
Wait, not quite to the sweet spot of the bat. That ball, it looked good coming off the bat of Bregman. Looked like it had a chance to get into the gap perhaps, but just didn't have enough steam on it. See Malik Smith here able to track it down.
Well, there's danger wherever you go in this Houston lineup, top to bottom.
Yeah, they're as deep. You know, you think about some of the lineups in the American League. The Red Sox are deep. Of course, the Yankees are deep. The Astros, that's why those 3 teams are leading the way.
98-mile-per-hour fastball up to Altuve. He went after that and missed it. And this guy, Altuve, hitting .345, leads the majors in hits with 111.
Well, and he's hit safely 13 of his last 14 games and is currently riding a 7-game hitting streak. He just consistently has good at-bats, good quality at-bats, and those numbers tell the tale.
Two and one. It's 3-1. Of course, the Rays don't see Houston that often during the regular season, as A.J. Hinch in his 4th season there, coming off the World Series championship a year ago. But every time the Rays see Houston, Altuve is hot or has just come off a big homestand. And he's done that again. Draws the walk this time.
But something tells me that we're not the only team that talks about that.
Yep.
I mean, he seems to be hot an awful lot. Let's take a quick look at the Rays defense and see how it's going to line up. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in that outfield left to right, we've got Malik Smith, Kevin Kiermaier, and Carlos Gomez. Across the infield, third to first, Matt Duffy, Willie Adames, Joey Wendell, and Jake Bowers. Wilson Ramos will be behind the plate.
Well, here's Josh Reddick, another guy coming into this series red hot, lifting a fly ball into left. Malix is there and puts it away. Walk and a man left. We go to the bottom of the first. Kiermaier, Duffy, and Bowers due up. Line up for the Rays, Kiermaier, Matt Duffy, and Jake Bowers. Then Wilson Ramos, Joey Wendell, C.J. Cron, the DH, Malik Smith, Carlos Gomez, and Willie Adames at short, hitting ninth.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Houston Astros, going to be right-hander Lance McCullers, and look what he's done. His last 5 starts, a perfect 2-0 record, ERA 3.48, a strikeout an inning. More importantly, his team is 5-0 in his last 5 starts. So he goes to the mound, and they typically end up in the win column, at least over the last 3-4 weeks.
Well, here's Kiermaier in the first pitch. He goes after the fastball and misses it, strike one. A lot of breaking stuff from McCullers. And that fastball, as you saw right there, plenty healthy.
Yep.
Mid-90s. There you go.
Yep. You know, it's a curveball. It's got slider speed to it. But it is a hard curveball, sharp late break. And you see the breakout right there, 44%.
Drop to the right side. McCullers will have to cover. Safe at first. The toss to McCullers, and he got just a beat behind where he wanted to be in covering after delivering that pitch.
You know, and here's the thing. As soon as you get the first baseman over here, Tyler White, to abandon his position, there's just no way. It's too long of a flip and too tough of an angle. And McCullers Jr. didn't get there in time, and I don't think it matters anyway. Kiermaier was by the bag. That's what speed will do for you.
So an infield hit. Well, that's just such a tough play.
It is.
For a pitcher to make in that situation with that kind of speed going down the line.
You're running looking over your left shoulder, and you're hoping that your first baseman's going to give you a good feed with enough on it. And by the way, you got to find the bag too. So there's a lot at play there. That was a trouble off the bat.
Well, an early challenge.
And you would think that the Astros would feel pretty confident about this. You wouldn't want to waste it on the first at-bat of the game. Let's take a look. Ooh, that's dicey. Boy,
You could see his right foot start to slide to the bag.
Right. It was short initially, as you see right there. Did it get to the bag before Kiermaiers? That's what they're looking at. I think the fact this goes the Rays' way on the field is going to help them immensely. This has got stands written all over it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be surprised at all if it came out stands. There's another look. They're going to have to get something definitive. Is that definitive enough? So Vic Carapazza on the call. Jerry Lane, the crew chief, with the headsets on. And it's going to be out. So the Astros prevail on the challenge. So it's 3-1. That's the first out.
Did not think that there was enough there to overturn. Obviously, someone in a much better position to do it than me and you.
Well, their monitor is bigger.
I guess so. must be life size.
Now Matt Duffy bounces one foul, strike one.
Yeah, that's a gutsy challenge, and that's why you felt that they felt good about it. But when you saw the replays, it did look like, you know, the ball got into the glove before Kiermaier's foot came down in the bag, but it looked like McCullers' foot was a little bit short and sliding into the bag.
Well, Duffy up here with a 1-1 count. Houston with a run in the top of the first, a 2-out walk to Altuve. He was left on. Two balls and a strike. Well, McCullers only 24 years old. He'll be 25 in October. And that's a strike call there on the swing by Jerry Lane. Duffy tried to check, and it's 2-2.
You know, that show you right, that pitch right there shows you how tight he spins the curveball, because Matt Duffy has had such good plate discipline up there. And in a 2-1 count, you know, thinking maybe you might be getting the fastball, and he commits on a ball that's well short of the plate. You don't see that very often.
The chopper headed to Altuve. That's the second out.
Well, let's take a look at the Houston Astro defense and see how it's going to line up. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Josh Reddick, Jake Marisnick, and George Springer. Across that infield, third to first, Alex Bregman, Marwin Gonzalez, Jose Altuve, Tyler White, and Brian McCann back behind the plate.
Hey, Houston without Gurriel. The Rays don't mind that. He's on paternity leave right now. And so White's at first base instead of Gurriel. Jake Bauers takes a pitch down and in. Carlos Correa not in the lineup when they presented it, and he has been placed on the disabled list. He's had some back issues. A 1-1 count.
And as we talk about this Astro lineup and how deep and thick it is, those are two pretty big losses.
And a strike call, 1-2. Yeah, Gurriel with runners in scoring position has been just out of sight. And Correa, I mean, what a shortstop he plays, and then the offensive side of his game. So those are two considerable absences in this lineup. Gonzalez in at short. Marwin Gonzalez, he plays everywhere.
Boy, that's the one thing that A.J. Hinch has here with this ball club, is a ton of versatility. You know, that series, you know, the Rays were in Houston for 3 ball games. We saw Alex Bregman at second, third, and left field, just in that small little sample size.
Bowers rolls it to first. That stays fair. White makes the play. 3 ground ball outs. We go to the second. No score. Brought to you by W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Ron Stanek. A strikeout and a walk into first. Back to the hill to begin the second. Facing the designated hitter, Evan Gattis. He is coming off a 30 RBI month of June. And the high pop foul straight back is out of play. Strike one.
And we're not even out of it.
No, we're not.
I mean, he could get more. That's absurd. See what that has done to his season total now at 54.
Ron Yarbrough up in the Rays bullpen. Yeah, the 30 runs batted in, a club record for Gattis. 1-1. Jimmy Wynn back in 1967 drove in 29 runs in June, and Jose Cruz in 84-29. Gattis with 30, then his teammate Alex Bregman with 26. Two 2-1 count on Gattis. He might have another run batted in or two in that beard somewhere. You could hide a lot of things in there.
Oh yeah. It's become a staple. You think about Dallas Keuchel, the same thing.
Cut and a miss, 2-2.
He truly is a guy that if he just decided one day to shave that thing off, how many of his teammates would recognize him? I mean, really, if he just strolled into the clubhouse without that beard.
Yeah, and there's Keuchel. That's become his identity.
Yep. They had a beard giveaway a couple seasons ago in Houston. I've got one.
You never know when you need to augment the beard.
That's exactly right.
It's catching in that Houston dugout in more ways than one.
You start to thin them out, though, this type of year. Well, all but Gattis and Keuchel. Summertime gets hot. Those things get ripe.
Swing and a miss. So Gattis is out of there. Second strikeout for Stanek.
Well, he got him there with the change of speed more than anything else. Was not the proper location for the off-speed delivery, but it's the split. This one stays up, doesn't have the finish, but see how far out in front he is? Still had really good arm speed, and so didn't have the same action on the pitch, but he got him, just didn't get there.
89 to 99 for Stanek. The average is 98.2 on that fastball and has been clocked at 100.5. Marwin Gonzalez. First pitch is a strike at 97. Attempt to bunt, and he did offer and missed it. Greg Gibson down there at third. Jerry Lane is calling the balls and strikes. Vic Carapaza at first, Jordan Baker at second, and Gibson down at third. That is strike three call. So he gets Gonzalez looking.
I think that was the split once again, and that one stayed up. You know, the split, the previous pitch, you get it diving out of the zone, and you get Gonzalez to commit on a bunt attempt, and then that one hangs up a little bit, but you just fool him. He gets the foot down, and everything kind of disjointed, takes it right down the middle.
Here's Tyler White. On and away. Well, that big fastball sometimes makes a mislocated split effective.
Boy, it does buy you some margin for error, doesn't it? Especially when you see a guy like you do with Stanek in short spurts. You know, he's not going to be out there for 5, 6, 7 innings. He's, you know, 2 is about his max. And so just air it out.
That one at 98 upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. For the last 10 games, 5 technically have been starts as an opener. No runs, and coming into this game, the opposition hitting .095 in that stretch, 4 for 42. There's a strike. Cut on that fastball up. White decided early trying to get it started. The pitch up and in, but he fouled it.
Well, that leaves you open for a lot right there. You know, Stanek can come back with the split. He can go with the slider down and away. Probably won't. It's either going to be the heater or the split.
And he goes 3-2 with him. Laid off that one as it dipped down and in. And a fastball lifted foul. Gomez after it, but it's going to be out of play. Should she duck and cover, or should she try to catch that ball?
Well, they went for the catch. It was inconclusive from up here whether that catch was made or not. I'm going to say by the look on the gentleman's face, it was not made, but happy to have the ball nonetheless.
The foul back. Couple of strikeouts here in this inning, 3 so far for Stanek. The left-handed bat of Brian McCann is on deck. The Rays have Yarbrough up in the bullpen down the right field line. And the pitch is down, a fastball misses low, and a 2-out walk. White heads to first. Kevin Cash heads to the mound with a pitching change coming. Call to the bullpen. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Deserves a second chance. Let's play grouper. Enter your lucky money ticket online, and you're registered for the $400,000 Super Grouper Second Chance promotion. The Florida Lottery is your ticket. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. An inning and 2/3 for Stanek, 32 pitches.
Well, and as of right now, no runs, is responsible for the runner down there, White at first. But another success here for Ryan Stanek, opening up a ball game, and now Ryan Yarbrough expected to eat a lion's share of the innings going forward. He's on for the 19th time, but that's 7 wins already, an ERA of 3.96 and 72 2/3 innings.
Well, he's on to face the left-handed bat of the veteran catcher Brian McCann. Yarbrough's last outing was that 12-inning game on Sunday when he got the win over the Yankees 7-6. Pitch to McCann is away. Rays won that one on the Jake Bauers walk-off. And Yarbrough was the 7th pitcher of the game for the Rays in that one. And a liner base hit into center. White's going to go to second as Kiermaier comes up with the ball. So the left-handed hitting McCann slaps a single into center.
Well, he just stays on this delivery here by Yarbrough, able to reach out there right off the end of the bat, but strong enough to get it out there into center field. And the one thing that the Rays have going for them is between McCann and White, you've got station-to-station base runners out there. It may take another couple of hits to score a run if you're the Astros. Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Jake Marisnick, the number 9 hitter, center fielder, takes a fastball for a strike. Marisnick hitting 187. He has 6 home runs. So some occasional power from Marisnick. Well, he hits him. And that's going to load the bases. Boy, this is the last thing you wanted to see here with the top of the order coming up.
Specifically for that reason. You know, the base hit off the end of the bat, and then this looked like a cutter that just got away from Yarbrough right off the thigh of Marisnick. And now bases juiced George Springer. First test in this ball game.
Springer struck out against Stanek. Now here in the second, he faces the lefty Yarbrough with the bases loaded. The pitch is up and away. Springer right now is 3 for his last 36. looks at a strike. It's 1-1. That 3 for 36 can be good and it can be bad.
Yeah. Keep it going, or is he due to break out? You see what he's done against lefties?
That's a strike. Came in, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that's a big weapon for Yarbrough. He'll cut the ball in on righties, and then he'll two-seam and change up away right to the top of the zone. Tough to get your arms extended on a pitch like that.
And a foul ball at change, and he got a piece of it. Still 1-2.
See how he's trying to work him here, and that's what you do with good hitters. You change speeds on him, you change locations. He goes from up and in to low and away, changes the miles per hour.
Ramos wants to talk it over with Yarbrough. Well, this becomes a big pitch after those last two pitches of up and in and down and away.
Because you can go either place. I mean, you can come right back up and in with the cutter. You could double up on the changeup down and away. I mean, he's got some different options here, and they want to make sure they get this right.
And that pitch in on him, and he checks and fouls it, so they came up and in. With 2 outs, Houston has loaded the bases on a walk, a base hit, and a hit batter. And he takes that one too close, up and in. 2-2. And away off the plate. Now it's a full count. So this will start the runners with 2 outs and a full count. And a foul ball. Boy, this has been a tough battle right here.
Yeah, and he went back to the cutter, but you saw where it ended up. He would not have that confidence of throwing it in case it ends up in off the plate. That was middle up. You're trying to make sure that you throw a strike, but with enough deception that you get the out.
And a cut and a miss. He came back, doubled up on the cutter, and got a big swing and a miss, and Houston will leave the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Stanek likes what he sees. No score. second inning. Having a good time here at the Trop.
All decked out.
Wilson Ramos to lead it off. Wilson starts the night at .292 with 11 home runs, and appreciative of the fans' reaction to the season he's had so far as he tries to go to Washington for the All-Star game as the starting catcher for the American League.
Yeah, I think the fans are actually doing a really good job so far with the vote. You look at everybody deserving. You know, Wilson Ramos has maintained his lead. Starting to come down the stretch here too of voting.
Two and one. Well, here's the breakout right now in the battle for the catching spot. Wilson with over 1 million votes. And Gary Sanchez second, followed by Brian McCann. Salvador Perez and Jan Gomes fourth and fifth. A chop to the right side. White with a toss to McCullers. Well, that conclusion a little more foregone than the one that Kiermaier hit.
Yes, plenty of time, a lot more time to work with. I'll tell you, when you look at those vote totals, it's a race that really shouldn't even be that close.
Yep.
Especially now with Gary Sanchez, he's going to be out through the All-Star game. I mean, he's out. They said they were starting off at 3 to 4 weeks with that groin issue, and after that, and even with him in there, I think Wilson Ramos is the clear-cut leader, but should be by a bigger margin.
Joey Wendell pitches a strike.
Boy, if he does end up thinking getting the vote and being the starter in the All-Star game in Washington, of all places, how special for him.
It's funny how those things seem to work out in this game. Here's a guy played for the Nationals, got a chance to go back there as the starting All-Star catcher for the American League. It's amazing to me that any catcher can come close to hitting 300.
With the beating that you take back there.
Absolutely. Well, a strikeout there. McCullers picks up his first. Wendell out number 2. Will be C.J. Cron. C.J.'s average right now .235. The 16 home runs, which matches his career high. And he takes the fastball at 96, strike one. One ball, one strike. Thrown right now 4 of his last 41. And now he's behind 1 and 2.
Well, that nasty hook.
You know, and the hitters can be excused a little bit if they're committing a little early on that with this guy on the mound.
Well, and you know what? We've seen better velocity tonight than even what he averages. You know, a lot of these.
Roller down to third. Bregman makes the throw, and the Rays are up and down 1, 2, 3 again. We go to the third, no score.
Well, since May 19th, when the Rays started this whole bullpen day or opener project, they have led the league with a 2.87 ERA coming into this game. And when we asked manager Kevin Cash if the whole idea worked out the way he anticipated it to, he said he didn't think it would be this glaring, but he's happy that it's benefited some of the pitchers, especially Ryan Stanek. But Cash really gave a lot of credit to the players for buying into the idea. BA, how important is it for guys to buy into an innovative idea like that in order for it to work?
I think that initially it's everything, because you're asking guys to do things that they've never done. I mean, Ryan Stanek's a short reliever that works, middle to late in a ball game. Now you're asking him to be a starter. Ryan Yarbrough's been a starter all through his career in professional baseball, moving through the system. Now you're asking him to come in the middle of an inning sometimes. So I think that that's extremely important, and it's apparent these guys thus far have done just that.
And I think it's a lot easier if you have younger pitchers as well. They're trying to establish themselves. They want a toehold in the big leagues. If this is the way you do it, you just go out and pitch well. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Pitching well.
Yeah.
Regardless of what role, if you pitch well, there's going to be a spot for you.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely the truth. And you've seen that before. Guys get to the big leagues and start out in the bullpen before establishing themselves as starting pitchers. Is that the case with Ryan Yarbrough? Remains to be seen, but it does work better with younger guys who are happy to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, a leadoff walk to Bregman. So Yarbrough came in and quickly found himself in a bases loaded situation and got Springer on strikes. Houston leaving the bases loaded. Now the leadoff man is on in the third with Altuve coming up. Boy, you have to ask yourself, how many times can you tempt fate with this lineup? You really need to be careful against this lineup. Ground ball third. Duffy to Wendell one. And over to first. Double play. Well, you can tempt it at least one more hitter through Altuve, who promptly grounds into a 5-4-3 double play.
You know what? And maybe this is the pitch and the result that starts to build Ryan Yarbrough's confidence. Kind of picking around the zone here early on, hit a batter, a couple of walks. But now all of a sudden, you get something like that off the bat of Altuve and you start to roll. Realize, listen, my pitches will play. If I get them to good areas, I sequence them well, I'm going to get outs.
Reddick takes the fastball inside. Reddick coming off an 11-for-21 homestand. It's 1-1. Curveball in there for a strike that time to the lefty.
We're seeing a better pace here tonight out of Yarbrough too.
Ground ball left side. Duffy makes the play. Walk to double play and a ground ball. We're headed into the bottom of the third. Malik Smith will lead off in this scoreless game. Inside look. He came out of the June 2012 draft out of Tampa Jesuit. He was 13-0 his senior year with 140 strikeouts in 77 innings.
Well, you do a little simple math. That's almost 2 per inning. That's unhittable.
Want to know the count to Malik Smith?
You start inventing ways to strike guys out when you have those kind of totals.
Into Smith, who fouls it. Yeah, out of the 2012 draft, made his major league debut with Houston in 2015. Made 22 starts. 6 and 7 with a 322 earned run average. One hopper backing up Altuve with time, and he makes the play to get Smith. Well, it's never easy to come home and pitch. McCullers has made a couple starts here, and he addresses that and admits, you know, there are a lot of other things, a lot of people, a lot of tickets, a lot of things on your mind. You try to focus on the game, and I think that's true of every player, pitcher or hitter, who comes home to play, particularly if you're with the opposing team.
It becomes an opening day type, situation where you really, not only do you have to execute your pitches in order to be successful, you've got to manage your emotions, and that can be extremely difficult. You're so amped up, and that's what we were going to talk about, before we got cut off that last half inning. As McCullers is showing more velocity here tonight, he averages about 94 per, but we've seen a number already, 95, 96. I mean, he's amped up pitching in this building, pitching at home.
Well, the Rays certainly have a challenge. He's lost 2 games here, a couple of 4-3 decisions. So not as if he's pitched badly here. You come out on a losing end of a 1-run game a couple times, but he's got some extra determination tonight.
Well, he also knows too that he's probably going to have 0 runs to work with because he's going up. This offense is going up against the Rays pitching staff, which has been so stingy.
Yeah, how about that now? 25 innings scoreless in a row.
And everybody, and I mean everybody, pitching in.
Yep. Yarbrough has followed Stanek to the hill tonight. Stanek, the opener. Full count. And then you look at the Houston pitching staff. Look at the ERAs on that. The starters 296, the bullpen at 263. 1 and 2. They just don't give up much of anything. Team ERA of 285.
And they've got guys that can take games over. You think about McCullers is capable of doing that, and then Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, Charlie Morton, Dallas Keuchel. Those 5 have made all of the starts. In fact, there they all are. That's a pretty tight-knit group right there.
Well, the Rays will see Cole tomorrow night. Verlander on Saturday, Morton Sunday. Into right field. It's caught by Springer. 2 gone. Wilmer Font against Garrett Cole tomorrow night. Saturday's a 4:10 start time. Verlander, and then Sunday afternoon it'll be Blake Snell and Charlie Morton. That will match up a couple of 10-game winners here Sunday.
Ooh, a little
that?
getaway day game.
Yeah.
Some heavy hitters. That'll be fun. The whole series will be fun. You get to see this Houston Astro starting rotation. They're fun to watch. The Rays and all that they do with this pitching staff has been fun. A lot of these young players like Willie Adames, Jake Bowers, Joey Wendell, Nathan Eovaldi. He was so good his last time out. Got it.
Chopper foul back a third. It's 0-2 now to Adames. You know, you think about the Astros, world champs last year. They won the division by 21 games. 21 games.
Yeah.
They were 101-61 last year. And they got Verlander right at the end. They bring in Cole. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a dominant swing and miss staff, top to bottom. Maybe not.
Liner into center. There's a base hit. Adames will make the turn. Marishnik returns the ball to the infield. The Rays pick up their first base runner.
You take that right back up the middle. Here's a hook. Stays up enough. How about Willie Adames able to go out and get that? That ball down and away. Boy, keeps that bat in the zone for a long time.
You know, you never know what you're going to get when you call young players to the big leagues, and Adames and Bowers have certainly been fun to watch. And you can see legitimately why the Rays are pleased with both of those young men. There's a strike around the knees to Kiermaier.
Well, they've thrown him right into the fire. You know, Willie Adames hitting 9th tonight. There's been a number of games that he's hitting up in the, you know, towards the top of the lineup. Bowers has been a fixture up there.
Kiermaier takes it too low. It's 1-1. Well, they certainly have a challenge with this Houston team, man. Kiermaier tried to check on that curveball, but he's now down in the count 1-2.
Yeah, we've seen 3 or 4 swings by Rays hitters during the course of this outing by McCullers that lets you know how nasty that pitch is. There's one right there.
Step back and a look over there by McCullers caught Adames' attention. And now we go to 2-2. Rays trying to get back to 500. They are 39-40. And they, I think, have surprised a lot of people to sport that record here as we get toward the middle of this schedule. Another move, and Adames is back in.
I don't think there's any question about it, especially when you started off the season 1-8. You were 4-13 at one point, and yet they just continue to hang around, put together this little win streak here at home.
Runner takes off, swing and a miss. Kiermaier is out of there to retire the side. On to the 4th, no score. with exclusive on-field seating right there in the Papa John's bullpen box. Host your group in the private party area, just steps from the Rays bullpen. Reserve the Papa John's bullpen box by contacting Group Sales at 888-FAN-RAYS or emailing groupsales@raysbaseball.com. Evan Gaddis out in front, bounces it to the left side, though a little high, but Bowers comes right down on the bag. Good thing it was Gaddis, who does not have great speed, running as you take a look at Duffy.
Way to his left. That ball behind him, and then here's the throw, what you're talking about, but you know, it is Gaddis, so get that foot down and out of the way before he potentially crushes it. Boy, nifty footwork down there by Bowers.
And he survived to tell about it. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Takes a strike. Gonzalez struck out his first time. That was against Stanek. One and one. Driven toward right center field. Gomez will be there in front of that one to make the catch. So a liner caught by Gomez. 2 up and 2 down. Well, the Astros, as we mentioned, up by 3.5 in the West, 54-28. Time for the Lows whole team together, and look what they've done on the road. They have a 10-game road winning streak, covering that time by averaging 7.4 runs a game and hitting .321 on the road.
You know, you saw the home run totals. They're averaging 2 homers a game. You know, the starters are doing a great job. The bullpen has been out of this world. So you talk about everything clicking.
1-1 to Tyler White. Two and one. It's 3-1. And the count will go full. Did he go? Yes, he did. On the appeal, Vic Carapazza says that is out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Another look as White tried to check his swing. No score, bottom of the 4th. Southern Chevy dealers. By Eldorado Furniture. The 4th of July sale is going on now at all Eldorado Furniture showrooms. And by your local Ford dealers. It's fun at the old ballpark right there. Matt Duffy will open the bottom of the inning for the Rays. Then Jake Bowers and Wilson Ramos. It's McCullers Jr. Starts with a breaking ball that misses. 1-0 to Duffy. Ball, 1 strike. Well, not a lot of offense in the current Rays lineup against McCullers. Rays have had some turnover. Duffy jammed on that one. That pitch in on him, riding in at 95.
Yeah, that was more self-preservation. Just get off me. It's like when you're going after that wasp, and he gets a little too close, and you take that
right.
that one swing. That was it.
2-2. Yeah, if you can't get either one of them off of you, it stings.
Right. That's why you take those swings.
Yep.
Maybe you'll come up with something.
Out to shortstop, Gonzalez across to first. Duffy 0 for 2 and out number 1 in the 4th.
Well, McCullers continuing to do a good job of, when he gets into these deep counts, he's able to make a pitch when he needs to. And on top of that, he's been good in and out. The curveball, for the most part, has been good. The fastball velocity has been good. He's sprinkled in some changeups. That changeup actually got in a little bit on Matt Duffy.
Jake Bowers. Houston overloading the infield with the shift on to the right side.
And you see, interestingly enough, Jose Altuve not out in shallow right field right here, because Jake Bowers got some foot speed, so you don't want to give him too much time to get up the line.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about him. Bowers is quicker on the bases than you think. He cuts the bases well, too.
Hey, he's I mean, fundamentally sound.
Yep.
Talk about his footwork around the bag, the way that he handles the glove. A good athlete, understands the game of baseball, the nuances that go with it, but very, very technically sound player.
And that one disappeared on him.
Yeah, that's the curveball right there. That, it looks like a slider. It's got slider velocity at 87, and it's got some, horizontal and vertical movement down and in.
That was one of those, now you see it, now you don't.
Yeah, I mean, those are the worst, because it is in your eyesight, and the swing starts, and you wonder where it went. I thought there was going to be contact there.
Ramos, ground ball, grabbed by White, and the toss to McCullers. 1-2-3 inning. On to the 5th, no score. Moment, we go back to 2011. Evan Longoria belting a walk-off home run against Cincinnati Reds reliever Logan Ondrusek to lead the Rays to a 4-3 win. Evan finally emerged from that scrum. Brian McCann pulls away and takes ball one. McCann, Marisnik, and then the top of the order, Springer. 1-1. Yarbrough took over in the second inning with 2 outs and a man on, and quickly found himself in a bases loaded situation. And he managed to win a battle against George Springer, struck him out on a 9-pitch at bat. Walked a man to open the third, threw a double play ball, had a 1-2-3 fourth. Now ahead of McCann in the fifth. And strike 3 is called. So he gets McCann looking on the breaking pitch.
And he's got it all working right now. He's got better tempo. You know, he's been working. Here's the breaking ball to McCann. He puts it in a great spot. The right-handed hitters, they're seeing the cutter in, the change-up away, getting some ground balls.
Pitches away to Maristic. Pretty interesting matchup on the mound right now. You've got McCullers, great arm, hard curveball, and the lefty Yarbrough for the Rays in there, moving the ball around, changing speeds, getting guys out in front, doing good breaking balls, a little cutter.
And what does that tell you? That there's a lot of different ways to record outs. You can do it with power stuff. You can do it with finesse and guile, smarts.
2-1. You
just have not seen too many comfortable swings off Yarbrough with the cutter in when he gets it where he wants it, and then that changeup down and away. And he is really splitting the plate with those 2 pitches in and out to these righties.
Foul the other way. Well, if you can command a couple pitches that move in opposite directions, you've got a better than even chance of success.
You get a guy off balance. You know, I mean, that's the thing. You try to stay as balanced as you can, but that's tough to cover down and away, up and in, then down and away, you know, and that's what he's been doing.
There's a long one lifted into left, however, and Smith will watch that one sail out of here. Marisnik down to that number 9 spot, has just hit his 7th home run of the year. And the Rays, who had extended the consecutive scoreless inning streak to 26, find that comes to an end.
And the reason why, Dwayne, we talked about up and in, low and away. Wait to see the location of the changeup. Not low and away. And that's why you get hurt.
Springer fouls it back, strike 1. Well, location. It is 1-0 Houston. One and one. Foul the other way. Well, the last run the Rays gave up was to the Yankees in the 9th inning Sunday. High fly ball into short left. Alex Smith Makes the catch, 2 gone. Bases will be empty for Alex Bregman. A home run given up by Yarbrough, the 11th he's allowed. Pitch to Bregman is a ball. One. Altuve on deck. 2-1. Liner into left. That ball is going to short hop Smith, who backed up to get a little better hop. You could see him getting a little nervous on that one.
Well, because he charged it initially and then all of a sudden realized, I'm not going to get there. I better stop and lean back. And it almost squirted right by him. I tried to cut that ball, didn't quite get in there. Bregman, who's swinging a hot bat anyway, almost caught himself into no man's land.
Yeah, that ball almost caught him on one hop.
It did.
That was hit hard. Now here's Altuve. He takes a strike. One and one. There goes a runner. The pitch lifted into right. That's going to fall in front of Gomez. One big hop out there, and he bobbles it. But stopping at third is Bregman. And Altuve is aboard. Suddenly with 2 outs, bigger trouble brewing.
The placement, and you see right there on the side of that baseball again, that little cutter gets in on Altuve, and he just inside outs it, bloops to Gomez. Bregman here with 2 outs. He's just going to continue on.
First and third, 2 gone. Reddick will be the hitter. He's been red hot. Kyle Snyder to the mound to spend some time with Yarbrough. With 1 out, Marisnick homered off the changeup. With 2 outs, back-to-back base hits by Bregman and Altuve. And Reddick was 0 for 2 tonight. We discussed earlier how hot he has been. 11 for 21 on their homestand. Came in hitting .389 for the month of June. The pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, the Rays have put this nice little streak together. This is the first time in the last 10 games the Rays have not scored first in the game.
Was not aware of that.
How about that for a run?
Yeah.
Sharply hit foul. It's 1-1. And that does make a big difference without question. You try to get on the board first. And the Rays, we've seen them, when they score first, they'll open the game up a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? The Rays, I think it was the Yankees series. There was a note in the Yankee notes where when they scored first, they were something like 36-4. So it goes to show you, you get that early lead and you can build off of it, get more aggressive.
Now, runner going to be caught between first and second. And now a break to home and a man caught between third and home. And Bregman is tagged out. So the Rays, a nice job by the Rays infield right there. You'll see some clubs sooner or later something will break down. The Rays did a nice job. And Adames decides to go home. And they'll get the out right here. Duffy makes the tag on Bregman. Well, 1-0. We go to the bottom of the fifth. You see Bregman, who was tagged out for that third out. And boy, the Rays executed that. Technically a caught stealing. The Rays defense executed that as well as it can be done. We'll show that to you in a moment. It is a thing of beauty. White with the toss to McCullers. Wendell is out, number one.
Oh, here it is. There were just no wasted throws. You know, Altuve on first movement's going. Then there's Bowers. Get it out to Adames. You're going to run him back, but keep your eye on Bregman. He goes a little too far. You go to Ramos. Ramos says, I am not letting you scamper back to third. I'm going to get it to Duffy. Duffy makes the tag. You cannot do that any better.
No, I'll tell you, home runs are exciting and balls in the gap and runners running around the bases. That, in its own quiet way, is really highlight film worthy. That's a great play by the Rays defense right there.
That's a tutorial.
Yes.
That you put that out there and say, this is how this play gets run. I mean, you could not have been more efficient with the first and third play at all.
Matt Andriese now loosening in the bullpen. Yeah, really well done by the Rays infield. So they limit the damage, just one run, and now Crone is hit by the pitch. So the Rays have a base runner with one away.
The curveball gone awry, and Crone gets hit again. He gets hit enough as it is, not getting hit with curveballs.
Yeah, that's 14. His 16 home runs, he's been hit 14 times. So he's aboard for Malik Smith. Strike one. Malik Pitch grounded out to Altuve in the 3rd inning. Rays with just their 2nd base runner. There's a strike, 0-2. Adames singled in the 3rd. Now Crone hit by a pitch in the 5th. One and two. Now the Rays have won 8 straight here at the Trop. And over that stretch, coming into this game, it outscored the opposition 38-12. Longest home winning streak the Rays have ever had was in 08 when they won 11 in a row at home. And Malix is out on strikes. Boy, what a tough pitch with that kind of velocity. Here's the breakout on the Rays winning at home.
Well, I mean, again, runs per game, pretty good, 4.8. You'll take that, but that number looks better and better the further down the list you go. If you're scoring almost 5 per, and your starters and bullpen ERA are what those numbers say, how do you lose?
The opposition hitting 163.
That's ridiculous.
It's Carlos Gomez. Starts to go, but he checked on that pitch in. A fastball tight in there at 95. One. Well, if you get that kind of pitching, and the Rays certainly have at home, it allows you to be in a game such as this. Here the Rays are down. You get a guy hit by a pitch. Now you've got the potential lead run at the plate. A guy makes a bad pitch and a guy hits it out. You grab the lead. McCullers hasn't made many bad pitches tonight, though.
Maybe he's due.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Starting now. No, that's what it does. And you hit the nail on the head. You just give yourself a chance to win every night. Yep. You're always in the game.
It's foul the other way. Well, Gomez comes in 0 for 3 in his career against McCullers, now 0 for 4. Crone came in 2 for 14. So he went to 2 for 15 and then was hit by a pitch. Gomez down 1-2. The conference on the hill, McCann out there. The last decision McCullers had was on the 12th at Oakland. He won that game 6-3. A couple of no decisions since then at Kansas City and at home against Kansas City. But his team has won each of his last 5 starts. He has 2 wins in that stretch, 1 over Boston, 1 over Oakland. And he strikes out Gomez. Got him to chase the breaking ball away. No runs hit, batter and a man left. We're through 5, 1-0 Houston. been double tough. The Rays with just the one hit off him. Adames picked up a base hit in the third. Houston on the board with a home run by Jake Marisnick, one out in the fifth, his seventh home run of the year. And that's been it as we go to the sixth inning. Ryan Yarbrough starting a new count here against Reddick. Reddick was at the plate when Bregman technically was caught stealing to end the fifth inning. Now the one strike pitch lifted into right center. Gomez turning on a little speed to get there. One away. Stanek worked an inning in 2/3. Yarbrough has been in since then. All four Houston hits off Yarbrough, including that solo home run by Marisnick. Gaddis takes the pitch upstairs. Foul right back, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Outside of third, down toward the bullpen, and it's a 2-2 count. Gaddis struck out in the second inning, grounded to third in the fourth. That was against Yarbrough. Ground ball to short. Adames with the pickup and the throw. 2 up, 2 down, bases empty here in the sixth. Time to again check in with Michelle.
Thanks so much, Dwayne. Well, it is time for your Chevy Prospect Spotlight, and you have to see these ridiculous numbers from Colin Poche. He's currently in AAA, but in 24 games this season between AA and AAA, he has a 4-0 record with a .65 ERA. He's allowed only 3 earned runs and 41 in a third innings pitch. 78 Ks. He was acquired from the Diamondbacks as part of the Steven Souza Jr. trade. How impressive are those numbers, guys?
The Rays have a number of players up and down AAA, AA. And a couple of interesting guys to keep an eye on at the A level. And that's been the game plan over the last few years, trying to collect as much young talent. And I think that's been an emphasis on most of the deals this team has made to stock the farm system. You know, not unlike what this Houston team did. There's a liner. That's going to be a base hit. Gonzalez is aboard. 5 hits now allowed by Yarbrough. You know, you talk about what Houston did. McCullers. They got him in the first round as a compensation pick in 2012. And they had earlier drafted and signed Correa. And they signed him for under slot money and used part of that to overpay McCullers and the slot for when they picked him. Think about those two talents that you pick up in the first round of the 2012 draft. And the Astros were on their way to winning 55 games that year. And the following year they won 51 games. Those were some lean years, but they were collecting a lot of young talent.
Yeah, and then the hope is that a lot of that talent pans out and they mature at roughly around the same time. and now you've got something. And saw that happen with this team. And then all of a sudden you can turn around and add a couple of pieces, bring in a Verlander, a Garrett Cole to help the pitching staff. And become a juggernaut.
Now White takes the pitch into right field. Gonzalez will make a big turn, and the throw comes through to third as he holds at second. White reaching out on that 0-2 pitch to single into right. And with 2 outs, 2 men are on base now.
It's the changeup here that White goes out and gets. Its ball's off the plate, and he just needles it into right field. A nice job here by Matt Duffy to knock this throw down. An aggressive throw gets over the head of Adames. Short hop Duffy. You see Yarbrough a little bit late getting back over there. So if that ball skips by Duffy, could have been a world of hurt there.
Now Brian McCann. 2-out threat posed by Houston. McCann is singled and struck out. That's a strike at the knees. Top of the 6th. Houston scored a run in the 5th. It's 1-0. Liner into center. Kiermaier is there to make the catch. So a couple of 2-out singles, 2 left. Bottom of the 6th coming, 1-0 Houston. Ticket holders, Flynn's Hospitality and Comfort, offering local craft beers and signature food items. Tropicana Field's premier destination, exclusively for Rays season ticket holders. The Republic Bank Draft Room. Call 888-FAN-RAYS for information. Willie Adames will begin the bottom of the 6th against Lance McCullers. And a ground ball grabbed by Gonzalez, who turns and throws. And Marwin Gonzalez just made a heck of a play right there. Adames, who had singled in the 3rd, has a base hit taken away from him here.
Our Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game, and Marwin Gonzalez channeling his inner Carlos Correa. Boy, keeping that leadoff runner off with a nice spin and a perfect throw over to White.
You know, Gonzalez has played left field, first base, second base, third base, and shortstop, and just made a premier shortstop play right there. Kevin Kiermaier takes the pitch down, 1-0. Well, Kevin thought he had a base hit in the first, but on the challenge, it was overturned when McCullers just did beat him to the bag on that ball hit to White. A strikeout in the third, now a 1-1 count in the sixth inning. Chaz Rowe is up in the bullpen for the Rays. Ground ball, shift on, and Gonzalez there for this one. Threw it right over the head of Altuve, who was ducking. You don't want to throw it at that guy.
No, I thought he almost got rid of that too early. I mean, I get it. Kiermaier's running, and he gets up the line as quick as anybody. But, boy, he gets it, looks, and throws, and Altuve right there in front of him.
Yeah, Gonzalez wouldn't have made any friends in Houston had Altuve failed to duck there. Look, he's going, hey, come on. Yeah, that's my head that you're aiming at.
Yeah, yeah. See, he doesn't play there very often, so he doesn't have a feel yet for the shift.
2-0. Yeah, here you are. You make a great play on the ball hit by Adames. The next play, you almost take out your MVP player, Altuve.
Yeah. 2 ground balls. You almost bounce it right off his forehead.
2-0 count to Duffy. Breaking ball. That's going to be a strike. Caught the top of the zone. 2-1. McCullers has been in charge tonight. Giving up a hit. It's hit one man. And there's a strike. Through the count. And now 3-2. This is only the second 3-2 count he's had tonight. He went 3-2 to Gomez with 1 out in the third. Now 3-2 to Duffy. And Duffy with a base hit the other way. So he picks up his first hit, the second for the Rays. And that will get Jake Bauers up here. Well, Bauers thought he had a pitch he could lift in the fourth inning. And that breaking ball was so good. There's Duffy's base hit.
And that stayed up enough where he could just go out. He knows, Matt Duffy takes a look to see where the defense is set up. And sees that hole on the right side, gets a pitch that fits and pops it out that way.
I'll tell you, in a game like this, this becomes a key at bat. Anytime you get a guy on base against McCullers and you're down 1-0, it becomes a big moment in the game. And here's Bauers, 0 for 2 tonight. Pitch stays wide. 1-0. And the fastball on the outside part of the plate. Not even sure that was a fastball. I think it was a changeup.
Yep.
It's 1-1. break by Duffy and a foul ball by Bowers. Starting to stop by Duffy over there at first. Two and two. Again, the off speed away.
Well, he's splitting the plate a different way. You know, the curveballs down and in, the changeups away, staying away from the hard stuff so far to Bowers.
Two, and that's fouled away. Well, he's staying that way. I'll tell you, he took such a great breaking ball to Bowers in the fourth that absolutely disappeared.
Yeah, he's thrown a number of those. You know, it's a pitch he's got a lot of confidence in. How about this? And we mentioned this during the pregame show, but Lance McCullers was the pitcher on the mound last year when the Houston Astros clinched the American League Championship Series against the Yankees. Game 7, he finished it up, and he finished it up by going with, get this, 24 consecutive curveballs to finish the game.
Yeah, I remember watching that. It was incredible.
One after the other, like, well, when does he go to something else? So,
yeah.
Well, for 24, he didn't, and the ball game was over. That tells you how much he loves that pitch and how effective it is.
And down and away, just missed. He looked in for a second glance.
First, he has to be thinking, how do you not swing at that? You don't even offer at it. You're Jake Bowers. He didn't even lean out. And then he's wondering how Jerry Lane doesn't call it.
So a full count. And a ground ball foul. Well, as we saw there, this 2-out, 3-2 count gives Duffy a running start off first in a 1-run ball game. How about that? Just staying absolutely away from the hard stuff. Curveball, changeup.
And you can see right there, the velocity is very similar on both of those pitches in that same range.
And he loses it. Finally went fastball away and walks Bowers.
You know what? Another great at bat by Jake Bowers. I mean, an extended at bat of curveballs down and in, changeups away, back and forth. And then all of a sudden a late fastball that, you know, became an easy take for him, but still to be able to battle like he just did. Seems like we're saying that an awful lot here.
First walk, he's hit a man, allowed 2 hits, 2 men on with 2 men out, and Wilson Ramos is the hitter. Twice he's grounded out to first with the pitcher covering. It's too low.
You know, and here's the thing. That hole on the right side is very inviting. White off first base right there, but Altuve way up there. And we've seen Wilson Ramos' willingness to go to the right side. Already has, as you mentioned, the 2 ground balls. But you've got an opening there to poke one into right field, maybe tie this game up.
Well, the Rays with the 2-out opportunity. First time they've had a man reach second tonight. Well, he's pretty spread out up there, left, center, and right. The directions of his hits, and 21 of those to right field. And he lays off too low. 2 balls, no strikes. Cut and a miss. Breaking ball there. 2 balls and a strike. Rays left a man at first base in the 3rd. They left a man at first base in the 5th. 2 outs, runners first and second in the 6th. And now it's 3-1.
We're working himself into some trouble here. The 2-out hit, the great at bat by Bowers. Trying to be careful here with Wilson Ramos, and you're in a tough count with him.
And it's foul the other way. So another full count. 3 consecutive full counts now after having gone 3-2 to only 1 hitter coming into this inning. A little different breakout this inning than it has been for the night. And this will give the runners off first and second a break. There they go. 3-2 and a swing and a miss. He strikes out Ramos, and the Rays leave 2 men aboard. Here's the strikeout pitch. The breaking ball. 1-0 Houston through 6.
With hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
We go to the 7th inning, 1-0 Houston leading. We'll have Jake Marisnick, who is the difference in this game, with his 7th home run of the year in the 5th, leading it off, and the pitch is a ball. Marisnick has been hit by a pitch and has belted the home run. Two balls, no strikes. Liner into left, and that's going to drop. One big hop to Malik Smith. And Marisnick, out of the nice spot, has been on base 3 times now.
Well, a couple of these hits by the Astros off Yarbrough. You see this ball cutting in. Gets right to the label, the handle of the bat, really. Broke that bat. You see the shard flying off right there. He's able to drop it into left field.
Now George Springer, 0 for 3 tonight. It's away. 1.
I'll tell you, George Springer has not had comfortable swings on that cutter here tonight. Think about the one where he struck out. The bases loaded. That one right there, kind of an awkward swing falling across the plate.
Up the right side, that's going to be out of play, a foul ball.
Well, and there was another one right there. And even after he fouled that off, you could see him kind of talking to himself, like, come on, you know, cannot get to that pitch. Not yet, anyway. That ball cutting in.
And a move to first on Marishnik. One run in the game. That was the home run in the 5th by Marishnik, who is the base runner. Yarbrough ahead of Springer, 1 and 2. Keeping an eye on Marishnik. Little tap. That's a foul ball off Springer. Ball bounded down to Duffy. But a foul ball, and the count is still a ball, 2 strikes.
But now the cutter's taking a physical toll. Or is it?
Yeah, look at Springer go. Oh my toe, it's broken.
Yeah, at least he got the foot right. Didn't limp on the wrong one. Totally fabricated.
That's
right there.
right. Well, you got to sell it.
Yeah, that was straight out of Caddyshack.
Absolutely. All he needs is a hat and a bowl of soup. One and 2 the count on Springer. Runner takes off, and a foul ball, and that's what you get.
That's what you get, I guess.
That's it. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Yeah, it's a direct hit.
Now it's taking a physical toll.
That's right. Mom told me to always be truthful. Ground ball back to the hill. Double play ball out at second and safe at first. Springer can get down the line. The Rays hoping to get 2, settled for 1. So Marishnik forced at second on the throw back to second for out number 1.
Well, just kept coming at him with it, and here's the chance the Rays have. But Springer getting up the line a little bit too well, even with that damaged foot. And in plenty of time.
Now Alex Bregman. And that's a strike. Bregman has walked and singled after the initial fly ball to left center caught by Malik Smith. One and 1. And there's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. bit. 2-2. One of the things the Rays have had going for them on this winning streak at home, 8 games in a row, to go now 20-16 here at Tropicana Field. Their home ERA is 2.96. It's second in the major leagues for home ERA. Ground ball, third. Duffy goes to second. Wendell to first, and a scoop over there by Bowers to complete the 5-4-3 double play. Nicely done by Bowers on the receiving end as Bregman grounds into the double play. 7th inning stretch time. 1-0 Houston. By your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by your local Honda dealer. Well, on we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ryan Yarbrough getting out of the 7th, the top half anyway, on the double play ball. He's made 83 pitches following Ryan Stanek to the mound tonight. Yarbrough allowing the home run to Jake Marishnik. And now the first pitch to Joey Wendell off the mitt of McCann and to the backstop. It's the 91st pitch of the night. McCullers made 24 pitches in the 6th to get to 90. Most of those with 2 outs. He'd made only 4 pitches to get 2 outs, and there's a base hit up the middle for Joey Wendell. And the Rays have a leadoff man aboard in the 7th. Well, there's a start. Let's see what the Rays can do with this.
Yep, got a pitch out over the plate. Joey Wendell just about spun the cap there of Lance McCullers Jr. Leadoff man aboard. Got to make this count. Starting to get late.
C.J. Cron has grounded out. He's been hit by a pitch. Action in the Houston bullpen. Chris Davinsky loosening. Now Cron. And a hot shot to third on the short off. Bregman to second and over to first. Oh my. You can't hit a ball much harder. And what a play by Bregman down at third.
Dwayne, that ball got on him so fast I thought he caught it on the line. I mean, that was an absolute missile. And there's the short hop you're talking about. And that ball out of the glove and on the way to Altuve. Lickety split. Wow.
Well, an impressive bit of defense right there out of Alex Bregman on a hot shot. I mean hot off the bat of Cron. There's Malik Smith. Suddenly the bases are empty with 2 outs. Boy, no sooner do the Rays think, hey, leadoff man on. Maybe there's something they can build on. And on that first pitch, the double play. Alex has grounded to second and struck out on a breaking ball. Drops in there, catches the corner. It's 1-1. Chaz Rowe and Austin Pruitt in the bullpen. Two and one. Full count. We had 3 of those in the 6th inning. Now with 2 outs, a full count to Malik Smith in the 7th. And Malik walks. So another base runner for the Rays, and that will get Gomez to the plate, who was up there with Crone aboard in the 5th. Brent Strom, the pitching coach, heads to the mound for Houston. It's a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Well, you start to think here about how long does it take Malik Smith to get going towards second base. I'm sure that's part of the discussion going on the mound right now. McCullers, how he's going to approach holding him and making quality pitches to Gomez.
Well, second time Gomez has been up there with a man on in a 1-run game. Rays down 1-0. Gomez hit a fly ball to right in the 3rd. Struck out on the curveball in the 5th inning. One of 6 strikeouts recorded by McCullers. And he fouls the opening fastball back out of play. McCullers about to make pitch number 100 of the night. Runner goes. Pitch, cut and a miss. Throw down is not in time by any stretch. And Malik Smith has his 15th stolen base.
Looked like Brian McCann came out of there with a circle change out to second. The breaking ball, he did a great job of handling this pitch. And then right there, you saw that ball bounce in his hand as he was trying to get the grip, do a little change piece down to second base.
So the Rays steal their way into scoring position. A 2-strike count on Gomez. And a cut and a miss. Gomez out on the breaking ball. The Rays will leave a man. They do not score. On to the 8th, 1-0 Houston. lot going on tonight in this 1-0 ball game as we move into the 8th. Jose Altuve takes the pitch to open the inning. Run 7 hits for Houston, no runs, 3 hits for the Rays. Close right there. Altuve thought he was going to get hit. He's had a couple close calls, one by his own shortstop and that one from Yarbrough.
Watch this jump out of the way. He's going to stride into the plate, and that one pushing him well off.
Now a strike, taking the count to 1-2. It's foul the other way. Yarbrough, 87 pitches on the night. Ground ball left side for Duffy. Quick throw to first, takes care of Altuve.
You know what? Even on a couple of hits, how many bats has Yarbrough gotten tonight?
Yeah, a bunch of them. That one cutting in.
Yeah. Hey, he's been really, really good with that cutter in and the changeup and the fastball away. He yanks that ball, and you see it's right in. That bat cracked. He has gotten a number of these Astro bats here tonight.
The ground ball by Reddick. Wendell there with a quick toss to first. 2 gone. Well, tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your local Honda dealers, and Orestes will break down Wilmer Font and a Big Brothers Big Sisters feature tomorrow 6:30. Rays Live, the pregame, and the second game of this 4-game series against Houston. There's Wilmer Font, big right-hander. Throwing a little harder since he has donned the Rays uniform. Now the pitch to Gaddis popped up. Foul. Bauer's a full head of steam, but cannot get there, and the ball's out of play anyway. So on the 90th pitch of the night thrown by Yarbrough, Gaddis fouls it just out of play.
This has been an interesting game. You know, Stanek starts it off, keeps the Astros off the board. You've got to look at the work that Ryan Yarbrough has done. He's made one mistake out over the plate. That's it. Lance McCullers, obviously, on the other side, has been even a little bit better. But there has been some top-notch pitching performances here tonight. Good defense, too.
Stanek made 32 pitches in an inning and 2/3, no runs. Gaddis with a 1-1 count. Mareshnik hit the home run in the 5th inning to account for the only run tonight in this game. The Rays, who've won 5 in a row, were involved in winning 2 shutouts over Washington Monday 11-0, and then Tuesday 1-0. Back in action tonight, and they trail 1-0. Hot shot foul down toward the bullpen. That scatters the Houston bullpen.
That was a shot, and those guys didn't have a chance.
Two. This one pulled down the line, fouled, and headed out of play.
I think he fouled that off with his forearm.
I believe you.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. That ball got way in the kitchen. Nope, not the bat.
And a cut and a miss fastball. Humping up a little bit on that one, Yarbrough at 91. strikes him out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 Houston.
His night is over, and how good was he? 7 shutout innings, giving up just 3 hits, a couple of walks, pitched out of a couple of spots. Curveball was outstanding here tonight. As you can see, the vast majority of his strikeouts coming on that pitch. They're getting Carlos Gomez, the last hitter that he would face in this ball game before giving way to that Astro bullpen.
Chris Davinsky on the hill. And his first pitch to Willie Adames down and away. Well, McCullers, after a couple starts here and a couple 4-3 losses, gave the Rays no runs tonight through 7 and turns it over to Davinsky. It's a foul ball toward the Rays dugout. 1-1. Alvarado up in the bullpen. And off goes the helmet with that foul ball. 1-2. And just looking back over McCullers with 7 strikeouts. Take a look at this before we get into that.
Ooh, foot.
Oh.
Bill of the helmet. Oh gosh, get you on both ends.
Not head to toe, that's toe to head.
That's not cool.
2-2. Trying to keep a little note once in a while on the score sheet here, but I think all of McCullers' strikeouts were curveballs, which is not unusual.
No.
Davinsky 2-2 with Adames, who fouls it back. Top of the order, Kiermaier is on deck. There's a liner into left. That's going to fall. Adames aggressively around first. On his way to second. He's going to make it. Double for Willie Adames. Adames ran himself into a double right from the batter's box. And now the Rays have the potential tying run in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, he's going to go out and get this slider right here. How about that plate coverage? And then he's smelling it. Knows that ball was not hit that hard and going to be well placed. And boy, oh boy, great hustle there. And a late chance.
Second hit of the night for Adames. Now it'll be the top of the order. Kevin Kiermaier against Davinsky. Kiermaier 0 for 3. Shows the bunt, takes the ball. Again, the bunt by the mound. Going to be a tough play. Safe at first. And it's first and third. Adames goes to third on the bunt hit by Kiermaier. Boy, he got Davinsky moving laterally, taking up precious time and no time to get Kiermaier.
And away from the glove. So he's moving towards first base, has to double backhand it. Everything just took way too long for a guy like Kiermaier and his speed up the line. Bunted that thing hard enough too to force that play. And here you go.
Boy, a nice job by Kiermaier. First and third, nobody out. Matt Duffy. Duffy singled in the sixth. There's ball one. .317 on the year for Duffy. And now the bunt, and that's a foul ball, comes up and hits Duffy. So the Rays trying to do a couple things there. Maybe get that man home from third and move Kiermaier up to second on that little push.
Boy, and a lot of times you don't see this play until there's one out, and that ball coming up and clipping Matt Duffy in the helmet. But you get the Astros there trying to make a play at the plate, perhaps. You score the run, you still got two base runners, nobody out. A lot of intriguing possibilities by going for that play right here and now.
It's wide, in and out of the mitt of McCann.
I think that was a purpose pitch right there to see if the Rays were going to try to do it again and catch Adames off the bag at third. That fastball by Davinsky just smelled up and away on purpose, well off the plate, almost like a pitch out.
Well, Davinsky's had 10 straight scoreless appearances. The last run he allowed was almost a month ago on the 29th of May. Runner breaks off first and a line drive. They're going to get the double play with Kiermaier breaking. Boy, Duffy couldn't have hit the ball any harder, but Gonzalez was there to catch it just as the Rays had Kiermaier on the run, and Kiermaier was going to walk into second base, but instead it's a double play. Wow. That's hitting into some tough luck indeed right there. A solid line drive, and now the Rays are left with Adames at third and 2 outs. Wow. Tough to take that one. And now it'll be Jake Bauers. Bauers 0 for 2 with a walk. And ball one wide. It's inside. 2-0. Alvarado and Pruitt busy in the bullpen up the right field line. The ground ball to the right side, gloved by Altuve, and the throw to first in time. Rays with a big threat, but that line drive double play put a damper on that. Top of this one coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by WB Mason. Neil and Orestes will anchor the coverage to sort out this pitching duel at the Trop. We'll hear from Kevin Cash and minor league updates from around the Rays farm system, all on Rays Live, the postgame. Austin Pruitt. Pruitt from Houston on to pitch against Houston here, making his 16th appearance with a record of 2-3. He'll face Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez, then White, then McCann. Trying to keep the Astros right where they are. They have one run on the Marisnick home run back in the 5th. Fastball is a ball, 1-0. Yarbrough made 95 pitches through 6 1/3, gave up a run on that Marisnick home run, 7 hits, a walk, 4 strikeouts. There's a strike from Pruitt. It's 1-1. Take the count to 1-2. Gonzalez playing shortstop with Correa out with a bad back. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pruitt worked 2 innings in the Monday game against Washington, gave up a hit, picked up a strikeout. That was that 11-0 win. Hector Rondon up in the bullpen. Still 2-2 on Gonzalez. And the count is full. Well, Pruitt does not want to put the leadoff man aboard here in the ninth. He wants to keep this a 1-0 game and give Ramos, Wendell, and Crone a chance in the bottom of the ninth. And a cut and a miss. He comes back to strike out Gonzalez. Strikeout number 8 for Rays pitching.
And he got him with, I mean, we know that Austin Pruitt can spin the curveball. How about this one, though? 85 miles an hour. And you can see that bat well up and over the top of that pitch. Great depth and bite. Save the best for last and get the big out.
There's Tyler White. 1-0. One. This one is down. 3-1. Well, Oregon State wins the College World Series, defeating Arkansas 5-0.
And Arkansas was a foul pop-up last night away from sweeping. Wow.
Liner into center field. That is a base hit. Kiermaier had to angle back to cut it off on a hop. We'll catch baseball's biggest stars for an unforgettable show from the nation's capital coming up, the MLB All-Star Game, July 17th, only on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Now Brian McCann. Yeah, that Arkansas loss will be tough for Ryan Stanek.
Yeah. That's
from
right.
The University of Arkansas. Again, taps it foul. Snap throw down to first, and back in is White.
Don't take your chance here, and you've got some screen with McCann at the plate thrown over top of him, but White's able to get back in. Bauer's able to corral that throw. Trying to keep him close, shorten the secondary lead.
Oh, and this one's going to bounce away. And down to second base goes White.
Yeah, I don't think that Wilson Ramos was able to get his glove around in time. Kind of a late flip of the glove on the curveball. And just banged right out of there.
Threw a pass ball on the Rays catching. You can see that moment of indecision.
Yep. And he knows it right there. You could see the disgust.
Liner into center field. Kiermaier on the run. He got it. Kevin Kiermaier makes the grab for out number 2. Racing toward left center field. Cutting to his right. Fine running catch by Kiermaier to keep White at second base and record the second out.
Going straight across, and with the backhand, there was no time there for any wasted movement at all. Game hanging in the balance, or at least the one-run lead. That ball gets by him with the effort that he put to get there. The run's going to score, and who knows where McCann ends up.
Boy, what a difference a play like that can make. And it, as you point out, keeps the Rays within a run. Now here's Marishnik, who provided that run in the 5th inning with a homer. 1-0 the count to him. Two balls, no strikes. Here's Marishnik back in the 5th.
Now he just got a changeup that really cut across the plate. Yarbrough trying to go down and away with that. The one mistake that he made, Marishnik able to capitalize, and that has been it.
And ball 4 is wide. So Pruitt puts a couple men on here with the top of the order, George Springer, about to step in. Springer 0 for 4 tonight. These two teams combined tonight with men in scoring position 1 for 8. Houston 0 for 3, and the Rays 1 for 5. That would be the bunt hit by Kiermaier. Pitch down and away to Springer. 2 men on with 2 men out, and Kyle Snyder's going to head to the mound. A great catch on the ball hit by McCann by Kiermaier. The Rays talk it over on the hill.
Just trying to get Austin Pruitt back in line after that walk to Marishnik, falling behind George Springer, letting him know this is not the route that we want to go down. Let's challenge him, figure out what we want to do here. It doesn't get any easier. Springer, even though he's not swinging the bat very well as of right now, you know he's capable of breaking out at any time, and Bregman and Altuve follow him. This is a tough part of the lineup.
Two and 0 the count on Springer. Cut and a miss. 2-1. McHugh has joined Rondon in the bullpen. Giles has been their closer. He was in that game yesterday against Toronto for an inning. Gave up a couple hits. Chop to third. Duffy will step on the bag for the force play. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Wilson Ramos will lead it off. The Rays are down 1-0. Rays come in to hit in the bottom of the 9th inning, down 1-0. And they'll face Hector Rondon here with Ramos, Wendell, and Crone due up. Rays face Rondon in Houston. It was a big swing and a miss, strike one. In fact, in that game started by Verlander, that was the Snell-Verlander matchup. The Rays won it 2-1. And one of those two losses hung on him by the Rays. Ramos tonight 0 for 3. It's wide, 1-1. It was Ramos who came up with a base hit in that game. Duffy had doubled, and Ramos got him home with a base hit. The Rays made that 1-run lead stand up, cut and a miss, and now it's 1-2. 97 from Rondon on that delivery.
Yeah, and an easy 97. Very smooth, where those fingers stay behind that baseball, and he pumps that thing up in the zone. Always difficult to get to that level.
And Ramos, after that one, the slider, and he is out on strikes.
It's not a fair combo. That elevated heater and then that slider that's in the zone. Look how long it's in the zone. And then you start the swing and right out the side door.
Joey Wendell opened the 7th with a base hit. It was promptly erased on a double play. Fouls this one. In fact, the last couple innings, you talk about hitting into some tough luck. Wendell singled, and then Crone hit a shot to third that Bregman made the play on to start the double play. And then in the 8th, with men at first and third, Duffy hit a line drive, hot shot to Gonzalez with Kiermaier breaking, and he was doubled off first. Now 2 strikes the count to Wendell. And a cut and a miss. And boy, that one had severe late break.
Right to that back foot. It was all sliders. Look at that ball right out the end of those fingers. Joey Wendell trying to go down and do something to spoil that pitch, just can't.
Well, now it's C.J. Crone. It's a ball.
You better be careful coming in close to Crone with something down in the zone. The game will be tied up real fast.
It's a strike, and it's 1-1. Fastball right at the bottom of the zone at 96.
You're approaching that area down there where he likes it. Likes to drop the barrel.
And that's a strike. Catching a little bit of that outside corner, says Lane. 1-2. Well, the Rays have given up 1 run in the last 3 games. They're down here 1-0 in the bottom of the 9th, down to their last strike. It's wide. 2-2. takes ball 3. The count is full. McCann will head to the mound. Colors work 7. Davinsky 1. Rondon here in the 9th for the Rays. Standig, Yarbrough, and Pruitt. Right now McCullers and Yarbrough, the pitchers of record. Same 2 teams back at it tomorrow. We'll be with you at 6:30 to begin our coverage. Wilmer Font and Garrett Cole square off. And a ground ball left side. This is Gonzalez. Throw to first. It's wide. That's going to get by the first baseman White. Head into the dugout, and the Rays are going to get Crone down to second base. So this game is not over yet. Crone goes to second, and now there'll be a pinch runner.
He hit it hard enough that it forced Gonzalez way out there into the turf. And now he's throwing back across his body. Tyler White doesn't do enough to come off the bag and knock that ball down. And the Rays benefit. Get Johnny Field out there at second base, and you got 1 shot left.
Well, Johnny Field will run for Crone. So the Rays pick up a hit. Houston charged with an error, and here's Malik Smith against Rondon. Fouls it back. One of the Rays have threatened now in the last 3 innings of this game and really hit into some tough luck in the 7th and the 8th. Now with 2 outs, the base hit and the error, and the Rays have a chance. Rondon turning with Field, the runner retreating to the bag.
Yeah, Johnny Field's not going anywhere until that ball is put in play, unless you throw one to the backstop.
Alex fouls it the other way. 0-2. Smith walked, stole a base in the 7th.
Right there, choking up on the bat here with 2 strikes. The hard thrower Rondon on the mound. He'll try to put the ball in play. You know, with Alex Smith, with his speed, that's all you're thinking at this point. Put the ball in play and give yourself a chance.
And now step back by Rondon. And a swing and a miss. Malik Smith out on strikes. And this game is over. A 1-0 final. 1-8-1 for Houston. 0-6-0 for the Rays. And here's the final pitch.
Well, 96, 97 miles an hour, perfectly located, and he was able to power it by Malix. I think Malix there was looking maybe for that slider, a little tardy on the swing, and that's going to end it.
The Colors will get the win. He's 9-3. Yarbrough the loss, 7-4. Rondon picks up his 5th save. 2 hours and 53 minutes to play this game. Houston takes game 1 of this series, 1-0. For Brian Anderson and Michelle Margot, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. Rays Live, the post game, comes your way next.